and not hearing whether or not, well, how the schools are going to be reopened. Some schools are not even in a position to do that right now, physically speaking. All right. We are now live on Facebook at Extreme 104 SVG. So if you want to take in a bit of that, you can join us there. And we're also joined by none other than Sehon Marshall. Good morning, Sehon.
Good morning, Crystal. Good morning to the DJ. I'm not sure who your DJ is, but you're playing some really nice grooves this morning.
DJ Jose.
Good morning.
DJ Jose.
Right, Jose. Yeah, man, the man on the mix-up. Good morning
Yeah.
also to all of your listeners who are tuned in this morning. Always a pleasure to be on Extreme. So thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for joining. Your background looking nice, boy. I big AC and thing, boy. Place real hot these days, man.
Boy, I should have questioned the stream. Yeah, I'd invite, but it's all right, no problem.
Right. Listen, once I say anything, you don't question it. You understand? Just take it.
If I was on a regular phone call, that comment would not have been made, but that's all right, no problem. I speak plenty.
Ah, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. So you've been listening. You've been listening to the discussion here. I have a few comments to read out. All right. If you'd permit me to read what people have been sharing so far. In terms of school reopening on Monday, we have been told by both the Prime Minister and Minister of Education that book is sure, no matter what form, schools will be reopened on Monday. But some parents are quite frustrated and they've reached out to us, well, via WhatsApp and so on, asking what form schools are going to be reopened, whether it's going to be online fully, whether it's going to be face to face, or whether it's going to be blended. And we have just a couple of days left in the working week. Next week, Monday is when school is going to be open. At what point will the ministry or the Minister of Education, I didn't get a chance to reach out to him this morning, at what point will parents be told exactly what is happening? All right. So somebody says here, good morning, get your picnic ready for school. Worst case is a postponement. All right. Somebody else says, good morning, Crystal. I know for a fact that Dr. JP Eustace Secondary School will not be open on Monday because there are still people, well, camping out there. I'm just reading what the person says. All right. There's a quite a long message there, but somebody else says it is a new strain of the virus affecting children, or is it a new strain, or did they release a new virus? Concerning the number of children today who have contracted COVID-19. So with all those said, right, Sehon, what are your views? I mean, I'm pretty sure that you like to disagree with me. Whether or not you really agree, you like to disagree with me. So let me hear how you're going to respond to that.
Well, first of all, Krista, let me say that the situation that we are facing, the developing situation that we are facing regarding the rising cases of infection, and just yesterday I saw that we had another death,
Yeah.
underscores the seriousness of the times that we are in.
Mm-hmm.
And it does reinforce the need for Vincentians to follow the protocols and in my view and in the view of the government, utilize the best tool that is available in the toolbox to fight COVID, which is vaccination. There are
Mm.
many individuals who are still hesitant and for whatever reason are not just refusing to take the vaccine, but spreading misinformation on vaccination and causing others to be hesitant as well. And that is one of the reasons. I'm not saying it's the only one, but that compounds our situation because
Mm-hmm.
unvaccinated persons continue to get infected and get uh, go to the Argyle facility and die, and that's a challenge. And so, while individuals are talking about what we're having, I think there has to be a certain measure of responsibility for those who still refuse to get unvaccinated. Look, the anti-vax movement, in my view, has
Mm-hmm.
gone to the unreasonable. I see now some quote unquote preachers, prophets, religious leaders making a false equivalence between vaccination and Christianity or hope. I even saw one religious leader, one religious individual, I'm not sure if leader is the correct term,
Mm.
using something on Facebook
Was that called him, yeah?
to equate the vaccination with the image of Babylon. And I'm thinking that individual clearly doesn't understand scripture, because the image of Babylon gave you a clear choice between God and the image. There is no choice between God and vaccination here. As a matter of fact, I think most religious individuals believe that all of our gifts and talents we endowed with,
Mhm.
brilliance, the ability to create and innovate, stem from God. So all of a sudden, no, the
Okay.
ability to invent this vaccine is now devilish. I guess the devil gave us this gift.
Is the
You know,
ability to do it that fast that's devilish.
no, but that's technology. A phone
That's
used to
my
take
puzzle
however
today. I
long.
just listened
You
in.
know, but
Uh-huh.
so it underscores the seriousness of where we are, and we continue to encourage individuals to go out and get vaccinated because that is one of the fastest ways we can start to reverse what is happening with COVID-19. Now, with regards to school,
Mhm.
what is happening is there is a date for the opening of school, and my advice to parents is plan for the opening of school. Um, Parents may wait and decide, oh, I don't know what is happening. But that's on the parent. You have to
Mhm.
plan and you have to prepare. I heard somebody said, I know for a fact that the GP Eustace is not going to open because people are there. I guess
Mhm.
that person is saying that between now and on Saturday, accommodations can be found for those persons. So if that individual has a child going to GP Eustace, or there are individuals listening to that person who made that comment, and they want to be irresponsible, they say, oh well, somebody say JP users are people inside it, so I ain't doing nothing. And then by weekend, people are moved out, the place is clean,
Mhm.
and school
Isn't,
opens.
isn't that
This
a bit last
government,
minute though?
no, but Crystal, this government has shown time and again that even if work has to be done triple time, overtime on the weekends, work
Mhm.
would be done to get things prepared. Remember when the government came into office in 2001, the
Uh-huh.
very first thing the government did was spend over $6 million in clean up and refurbishing and so on of schools, and it was ready in time for schools to reopen. So my
Last
advice
minute,
to
but it's okay.
parents, hello?
Last minute, but it's okay.
That's fine because we are dealing with humans there, and things always go against plans sometimes.
Every
So
school year.
so my thing is that's fine. Human error, Crystal, that's what it's called. The
20
reason why you
years
would
of
show up
minute.
late every now and again now, and you're supposed to get there for 6 o'clock, but you're jumping in 5 past, 10 past. That's all right. It
Yeah,
happens. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So,
Not,
so
not, not,
there
not
is
for the past 3 years
there
though,
is
but not you.
it's a no,
Mhm.
but Crystal, nobody in this country has built a house and built it according to the contractors. Nobody. The
They don't
contract is
have
a three
they
month.
don't have to build schools to get schools ready for
No, but
school.
no, but a lot of the
Reopening,
schools are under construction, or refurbishing. A lot of them. So
refurbishment.
when you hear that, I mean, it's amazing that people who live in homes and build homes and are accustomed to construction, when the contractor says, "Oh, this is going to take 6 months, but 9 months here moving yet," and that happened. That's a normal thing. When
Yes,
school is
yeah.
delayed for one
I
week,
can
it's
testify.
all up.
Yeah.
It's never ready. 1 week. I mean, come on. That's construction for you. So
Mm.
my advice to all parents is prepare for the opening of school until you hear differently. And for right now, you have not heard differently. Whether it's going to be blended or it's going to be face to face, the reality is you are advised by the Ministry of Education that school opens on October 4th. That is what you should plan for until you have a different advisory. And don't tell me that buying a school shirt for your child, or pants for your child, or a uniform is a waste of money if you do it and school don't open. I'm not sure how that becomes a waste. I'm
It
not
is
sure
a waste of
investing
money. It is a waste
how
of
how
money. Let me tell you how it's
investing
a
in your
waste of
child's
money.
education is a waste of money,
Oh,
Crystal.
hold on. Don't equate it
No, but
directly
that's
to
no, but that's what
investing
it
in
is.
child's education,
But that's
right?
what it
No,
is.
no.
But that's what it
Here's
is.
what is happening, right? So a parent
Right.
goes out and buy, let's say they are the custom buying 3 pairs of maybe shoes. They go and buy 5 shirts. They go and buy 3 uniforms and what's not. And school reopens, and those uniforms are never touched for the entire term or for the entire year. Doesn't it now become a waste of money?
First of all, Crystal, as I said, investing in my child is never a waste of money. Now, if it's unused because of a situation. Now,
It's so
if you may want to advise a parent, for example, instead of buying 5 shirts, 3 pants, and 2 shoes, buy a shirt, buy a pants, and buy the pair of shoe, and then you monitor it. So after 1 2 weeks, then you can buy the others. It just means you have to be washing the shirt every day and so forth. And the parent wants to go that route, that's them. But
mhm.
one must prepare for school. I have children. I've sent children to school. I've prepared for school. And
You have children?
there is a there may be some uh, um, a feeling of oh man, I didn't have to do this or I didn't need to do that because of a delay and the things aren't used.
Yeah.
But
Once money
look,
is involved, you would understand how some parents
yeah,
get
but
frustrated.
Crystal, we buy brand name shoes for 2 month old, and within 2 months the shoe too small, but we just spend $150 on a brand name shoe, and you see them and you see
Like how
them going in the
y'all is
front.
always try to say the people who complain about buying extra uniforms are the ones who just spend these big money for the little
I, I,
children
I never
and who
said
just
that.
bring
What what I
car
what I
food.
do know is that I think it's more. I think if you're going to see a 3 month old or 4 month old toddler who is growing at an alarming rate in a Jordans that they paid 70 US for, that's a waste. But
Okay.
to
So
buy
is
two
it
two
all
shirts and a pants for a child for the opening of school that may be delayed, that's not
that,
a waste. That's an investment in your child's education.
that the child never uses and grows out of?
And that would happen because of a particular circumstance. So you have to wait.
Uh,
You have to
so
weigh that situation.
okay.
Yeah.
So you're not of the opinion that parents could be better prepared to not spend money that they don't have to.
Crystal, for me, this is
Mhm.
what the preparation of school is. All right. And I don't know what the alternative is. The alternative can't be, oh, well, don't do nothing until Monday. And then when you see school open, then you rush to go and buy. That cannot be the alternative.
I would
And
wait until
and
Saturday
if,
or
well,
Friday.
that's you. But
Yeah.
if in the future, and we don't know what the future holds, but based on trends and so forth, that is the advice that is out there.
Hmm.
There has been no information whatsoever about the cancellation or the postponement of the opening of schools. So let's prepare for that. It's like a
Hmm.
hurricane. It's like any disaster. You prepare and you prepare for the worst. You individuals would go. We hear this all the time. You hear a storm is approaching and take all the precautions. And so individuals go to the stores, they buy their tin foods and make all the preparations. And the leadership of the country may come and say, well, based on the coordinates and so forth, we're advising all persons to stay indoors because the storm is coming at us. And so you prepare for that. Now, when the storm diverts, when the
Hmm.
storm diverts, you hear the next day, oh, waste a day, waste of productivity, waste of this, we could have come to work. You hear that all the time. But
By the food,
what is
by
the
the
what is the
food,
alternative?
by the
Hello?
silly food in the clock, in the block,
But
in
what's the no? But you hear
the
that a
group.
lot. You hear that even from radio personalities. What's the alternative? The alternative is that you come to work, you come outside, there is a storm, and people get injured. People get trapped at work and so forth. It's the same thing here. You have to just prepare for school, and as of now, the advisory is that school opens on Monday, and so you prepare for that.
All right. Okay. So at this time, we're going to stick a pin right, Sion, and then we're going to come back. We're going to end the live on Facebook at Extreme 104 SVG. All right. Let me just show up at some of these comments really quickly. But we got to go to a sponsored segment by Digital right now, the Digital State of Emergency Mix, and come back. All right. So hold your comments. We're going to read them through when we come back from that. Okay.